What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Ptk Bl4m back in the building with another episode of the Shop Podcast coming to you guys live once again another Saturday. But this is not any Saturday, man. This is E3 Eve, man. We're turning up again this year. E3 2019, the biggest video game show in the world, is live, man. We are right around the corner. I'm extremely excited, man. My ass is off for the next 6 days, so I'm super lit. Super happy, man. We got a great show lined up, man. I first want to do something here real special. Shout out to the Shop Podcast panel member, Xstaggerxleex, man. He is at Xbox, well, not at Xbox Fan Fest, but he is at E3 or en route at this particular point, man. So shout out to you. Shout out to Zalker as well. Shout out to Jarhead, other members of the Shop Podcast here. And once again, if you're new, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, man. We doing it big once again, man. Thanks, everybody. Just come pile in, man. Say hi as you join us, man. We're gonna go ahead and get to these thank yous and highs. So we got another guest today, man. Centurion, you have been on the show before, but once again, man, once you're a family, just let everybody know what you got going on. You have been a very busy man lately.
Oh yeah, I've been a very busy guy. Today, particularly, I'm on my second cup of Starbucks just to talk about E3, and I'm excited to be here.
Oh yeah, awesome, man. Glad to have you in the house, man. Once again, he has a great channel, up and coming YouTuber. I'm gonna make sure I put all of his information in the description below. Go follow him on Twitter as well, man. He has a lot going on. Great content, great guy overall, man. Once again, smack that like button as you come in here, man. Let's get this shit popping. I feel good, man. I haven't felt like this since like I was 10 at Christmas. It's crazy, man. But anyway, Fuzzy, let's dive into what you got going on, man. Besides sleeping and Forza, sleeping.
Trying to stay off of Twitter to not spoil anything.
Oh Lord, man, tell me about it.
I'm gonna do my best to keep my mouth shut on some spoilers. So for anybody out there that wants to, hear about the excitement of E3 but not get anything spoiled, I'm gonna do my best not to spoil anything. But man, I can't wait. Tomorrow's gonna be a big day. Been counting down like it. Pretty much, it's gamers' Christmas. So yeah, I've been looking forward to this weekend for quite a while.
Hey, tell me about it, man. This shit been coming, man. It's like, man, it's here, man. It's here, and we don't gotta wait no more, people. And once again, please, if you know anything about the console and what's going on and spoilers, please keep that to yourself. Do not put it in the chat. I got some pretty quick mods. Shout out to Shonsu, King James. They will remove you out the chat. Please don't do that. We don't want that. We're trying to really have fun here. We're not trying to spoil anything. I have been AWOL on Twitter for a day and a half. So I don't want to see nothing. But let's have fun. Let's dive into the topics. And by the way, if you didn't see the tweet, man, before we dive in here, we are going to be live streaming tomorrow. Me, Centurion, once again, Fuzzy, as well as shout out to Gaming Forte. So if you want to watch the show live, we're going to be doing it here on the Shop Podcast about 12:30. I believe the show is 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So I'm pretty much on the same time as them. So 12:30, we're going to be getting in here early, doing some pre-game, hyping ourselves up, talking shit, talking crazy, but we're going to have some fun. So if you want to come watch it with us, put it on your calendar. Come hang out with us about 12:30 tomorrow. We're going to have some fun. But let's dive in, man. So you know what the funny thing is? We really don't have any specific topics. We just going right off the cuff. So we're going to let the chat roll. Let us know what you guys want to hear from us. Throw your questions in the chat right now. But we're going to start with some cool shit. I just want to do some predictions right off the fucking bat. I don't even want to wait. Let's get the predictions out the way. So we're going to start with you, Centurion. So I'm going to throw a couple. I'm going to rattle off a couple, and you let me know what you got going on, okay?
No problem.
All right, so we doing this live. Once again, hit that like button as you file in. Appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys for piling here, man. Stay in here, hang out, drink a beer, have some fun with us, man. So first, Xbox predictions, since that's the first show we're going to be getting, minus the EA play, which we'll talk about here shortly. Xbox, I want some predictions. Give me 3 predictions at the Xbox conference.
We're going to see some gameplay from Halo in Halo Infinite. I'm hoping to at least hear the specs for the new Xbox consoles, especially the Anaconda. And then I want to see a studio purchase. I've heard so many names thrown around recently. I'm really curious on who's going to be the winner.
Okay. No, none of those are really too far-fetched. Maybe the Halo one. So I wouldn't say, well, maybe not so far-fetched, but you think that's, what would you rate that prediction as far as seeing actual Halo gameplay tomorrow?
I want to say probably on a scale of 1 to 10, on chances of happening, it'd probably be around a 6 or a 7 because there is a good chance it couldn't happen. But if they're going to come out and show the specs of the new Xboxes, they're going to want to show people those things in action. And what better way to do it than with a game with a brand new engine like Halo?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I don't. You know what the funny thing is? It's just there's been so much tight-lipped. Halo's been so tight-lipped, and I appreciate the fact that nothing has been leaked. There's been no reports, no emails, no screenshots, or anything about Halo. And I appreciate the fact that they're taking this much time and care with the franchise, which is on my Mount Rushmore of video games of all time, right up there with Mario, right up there with God of War, all those other fantastic games. Halo is right there in the same pantheon. So I'm excited about Halo. That's probably now I'm gonna elaborate on this. Do you think they start or end with Halo?
That's a good question. I've heard a couple people rumoring about them starting with Halo.
Okay, didn't they start? What year was it they started with Halo? Was it 2017?
Yeah, it was last year.
That was last year?
Yeah, it was last year.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was the very first thing they did. They said, welcome to E3 at 2018 with Xbox. Lights went dim, and then there you go, Halo Infinite, advertising the Slipstream engine.
You're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. They even started the year Halo 5 came out. They started E3 that year with Halo as well. So starting with Halo is not that big of a stretch thing. If we look at historically for Xbox, that's not that big of a stretch. So, okay. All right, so I guess I'm going to bounce that question right the fuck over to you, Fuzzy Belvedere. You over there chilling, being quiet. So, Halo, first of all, where is that rank on your prediction scale? Would that be far-fetched? We're talking gameplay here, not a CGI.
I definitely think we're going to see some gameplay. I'm hoping we'll see some new mechanics. Well, not necessarily new mechanics, but something new that'll just basically hold us over until we get a beta test or something. But I have a feeling we're going to see some gameplay, and we're going to see something a little different than what we've seen through, the MCC collection or even Halo 5 for that matter. And no, it won't be a battle royale. We definitely will see some hardware specs. So I have to agree with Centurion. I think a lot of his predictions are pretty much going to be spot on what we're going to see. I'd like to see a studio purchase as well. But I think this is going to be one of those years where how everybody wants to complain about the 3 tent poles for Xbox being, Halo, Forza, and Gears. We're definitely going to see those this E3, but I think it's going to be in a way that everybody's just going to be ready to do the pre-order either right after the show or pretty much shortly thereafter. So it's definitely seeing some gameplay out of all 3 of those franchises and studio purchase. Hoping IO Interactive, because I know that they're supposed to unveil something new that's not a Hitman 2 type of thing this E3, or they were working on something to
IO would be interesting. That's the developers of Hitman, correct?
Yeah.
So that would be very interesting.
So I'm hoping that's one that they pick up, although I guts telling me they probably picked up a couple of more. But and then the hardware, I just want to know what I'm going to be replacing my X1X with. Obviously it'll be an Anaconda, but I just want to, get a rough idea of what it is as far as the specs and things, so I can, drool over it until, pre-order day opens up and stuff. So
okay. No, that sounds fair. Because I mean, it's now I want to bring this up as well, Fuzz. Halo, do you start or do you close with Halo? I mean, which would you prefer adding the lining things up?
Unless Halo is coming out the beginning of 2020, I say start with Halo as opposed to close with Halo. I think you close with your new IP, whatever that may be. I think you close with that. I mean, they closed last year with Cyberpunk. I think you can put that kind of somewhere in the middle. But yeah, definitely close with something we haven't seen before, whether it be a returning IP or all new, fresh from the start IP. I say close with that, and keep people asking or wanting for more type of thing. But Halo, yeah, if we see some gameplay, show it in the beginning, and then that'll just raise the hype level. If it wasn't already at 10, it'll be 10 and above from the start, and they just got to continue all the way through.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Shout out to everybody rocking out with us right now. We got 20 people in here. Let all your friends know, man. Go find the link, which is on Twitter right now. I'll make sure I put that up pre-show. Go find the link. Tell everybody about the show. If you're a fan of video games, come holler at us. Say hello as you file in the door, man. So we're going to keep this thing rolling, man. We're totally off the cuff. You guys always know I come in with some topics, man. So I'm heavily relying on the chat today. So once again, chat, I haven't seen any questions yet. So let us know in the chat. What do you guys want to hear from us? What are you guys excited about? Ask us as many questions as you possibly want to know about, and we'll rock and roll with them. So let's go ahead and keep things moving here comfortably. Now, we've already seen EA play. I kind of did some pregame here. Centurion said, hey, man, you better watch it before the show because I didn't get to watch it. I actually had to work today. So I ran through a quick video. It was like EA play in 19 minutes. It was okay. So Jedi Fallen Order looked amazing. If you guys didn't know, I've said it many times on this channel, I'm a big Star Wars fan, but the biggest thing I want to see from EA, in all actuality, was a Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 3 announcement. PopCap fucking tweeted out the day before they were not going to be there, which totally deflated my expectations for EA play, killed my entire buzz for the entire event. So I wasn't really going into it with high hopes anyway outside of Star Wars. Star Wars did look great. Reminded me a lot of the Force Unleashed. I don't know if anybody else was getting that vibe from what they watched. A lot of Force Unleashed, which are my favorite Star Wars video games, bar none. I think they're the best, most well put together Star Wars games outside of maybe like KOTOR. But anyway, I want you guys to talk a little about EA play, the expectations, what you guys saw. Obviously, EA throughout the week is going to show more about these games and elaborate on what we've seen. But I'm going to start with you on this, Fuzzy. What did you think about EA play? And did you even get a chance to watch it?
I hadn't had a chance to watch it. I kind of wanted to wait and take a look at the Xbox One for tomorrow. I kind of held off on EA because I want to. I'm assuming that they're also going to have more of the Jedi game on Xbox's stage. But yeah, for the most part, I kind of passed on it because I already know I'm going to wind up pre-ordering Madden 2020. So. The boys already told me that's what they want for the holiday. So actually, it'll be way before the holidays because it comes out in August. But yeah, I just passed on it until I see the Xbox one. Then I'll catch all the ones after that. But I'm looking forward to seeing the Jedi one on the Xbox stage as opposed to on EA stage because past few years they've been, I wouldn't say creepy, but they've been kind of weird as far as how they do their presentation, and I didn't want to go through one of those cringe fest things again. So yeah, I kind of passed on it.
Okay. Hey, you know what? That's fair because once I heard about the damn PVZ not being there, I was done. I'm like, okay, this is off my schedule. I don't have to worry about this because I actually had my wife and my son watching it. I'm like, hey, look, you gotta watch it. If they announce PVZ, you gotta text me while I'm at work. Let me know what's going on. So when I saw the tweet, I ixnayed that immediately. So I wasn't too excited. I did like Star Wars. I think, Fuzzy, based on I know you a little bit, I'd like to say I think you enjoy the gameplay. Think Force Unleashed.
Yeah.
A lot of Force Unleashed in there. A lot of, I was going to say sword. I'm disrespecting Star Wars fanboys all day today. The lightsaber, lots of lightsaber play. The Force powers remind me a lot of Force Unleashed. And I know Centurion was mentioning, we talked about this pregame. He said that a lot of people were asking for that from this next Star Wars game. So I think you'll like it. I'm sure you're going to get a chance to see it. Maybe even once we get done with the podcast today, you'll just watch it. It's not too long. It's not a ton to see. There's some breakdowns on it too, but you can kind of get it in a small format, not the whole 2 hours, however long it was. But anyway, so let's go ahead and bounce this over to you, Centurion. What do you think, man? I know you watched it. You had me watch it. What'd you come away from that thinking, man?
I enjoyed it. It was good to see that they're trying to actually make a lightsaber. Because if you really think about it, every Star Wars game, the bad guy always gets can take a couple blows from a lightsaber. But if you watch the movies, it's like a one-shot kill. These things can cut through metal doors, but in video game land, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
But like in every good Star Wars movie, there's always the android little sidekick And as soon as I saw that robot on his back, tossing him health packs, helping him hack doors, like hopping off his back and going through little crawl spaces, I was like, wow, this is actually pretty different and cool at the same time. When I saw the first trailer for Fallen Order, it was kind of at like a 6 or a 7 for me. Now, don't get me wrong. I am a big Star Wars fan. I have a painting of the Death Star on my wall right here in my living room. But when I saw Fallen Order the first time, it was like a 6 or a 7 for me. This has brought it up to like an 8 or a 9 for me now, because it looks like a lot of fun. And yes, it does remind me of The Force Unleashed.
Oh, yes. A lot of elements from that game. And those are my favorite. As soon as they announced on BC, I downloaded them right away. Because I played through those games so many times on every single mode, getting every single thing that you could possibly get in that game. Every single ability, maxing it out, everything. Hardest, whatever the case may be. I played a ton of it. So I think, Fuzzy, even you not seeing it, I think you'll be fairly excited about it once you do get a chance. And I'm sure you'll take the liberty of doing that at some point. I think you'll be excited about it, though, just knowing that. But let's go ahead and keep this train moving, man. We just got started. We warmed up. We 20 minutes in. This is a jump rope time for us right now, people. So once again, chat, smack that like button. Let us know what's going on with you. Please ask as many questions as you want as well, because I'm opening up the entire show. You guys are going to be running the show pretty much today. I'm going to answer as many questions as we possibly can, so please throw them in there right now. Everything you've been talking about all week, everything you've been thinking about all week, let us know so we can talk about it and get it off your brain. But let's go ahead and keep this thing moving. So we're going to be talking about a little bit of Nintendo. Now, I got to get Nintendo in because I do still respect Nintendo. They are going to be having a direct, and we talked about this, I think, a couple podcasts ago, Fuzzy, if I'm correct, about potentially the showing of a new, possibly stronger Switch. Maybe Switch Pro. That's kind of what we're saying. Now, there's no confirmation that that's going to happen, but how significant do you think that announcement will be for the week of E3 and for Nintendo? And what do you think that's going to do moving forward on a third party end with Nintendo? So we're going to start with you, Centurion. I don't know how big of a Nintendo fan you are, admittingly, but what do you think this is going to do for Nintendo if they do announce something like a Switch Pro?
Well, for starters, I do have a Switch, and I just bought Yoshi's Yarn probably 2 weeks ago to play with my wife. So I do enjoy Nintendo. And I do hope they come out with a Nintendo Pro, because, I'm a God, what's the term for it? Pixel junkie. I love 4K images, so I would definitely be all in for a Pro version of the Switch, just because I never really play my Switch undocked. It's always docked. I've thought about taking it with me on the road, but with how spazzy I can be, I'm scared of dropping it, so I just leave it in its dock.
Yeah. So okay, you know what? That's cool. I mean, I know, Fuzzy, you talked about being in on the Switch. The chat just said, shout out to More Cloud Tech USA. Funny name, man. But he said Switch Mini, that would be kind of cool as well. They're really good. I mean, Nintendo, this is their space. They can sell that DS in any way, shape, or form. They've molded and shaped that thing as many possible ways they can, and everything still sell out as soon as a new DS drops. 3DS, 2DS does not matter. I mean, shit, they can make a 3DS out of poop, and it would still just sell out like crazy. No, seriously, I mean, dead ass. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's their space. So I think that if they do a Pro, obviously I hope there's a spec bump. I don't know about 4K. Maybe 4K, like the screen will be 4K viewable, but I don't know about like pushing 4K images, things like that. But I don't know. I mean, I'd be open to that as well. I haven't bought the Switch yet, but I know it's something that I'm probably going to be buying for one of my children at some point, or hell, even my wife or myself at some point. So, Fuzz, I know you're in on the Switch, man. So what do you think with that announcement maybe looming? Is there any grease to that, or are we just kind of pie in the sky?
I think there's a lot of people out there itching for something that's a little bit more, or packs a little bit more of a punch as far as for the Switch. So if they have it where it docks and it does like 1440 or something better than or at least 1080 or better, I think a lot of people will be happy. I think the way when it's stocked now, it's 720 or something along those lines. So if they can have something that's a little more oomph behind it, I think that'll be well received, and it'll be the hot ticket for this holiday season. So if they announce it, and my gut's telling me they probably will announce something along those lines. It'd be nice if they do maybe some different looks for like the standard one, do a mini as well, and then do a pro, and then have it where they're all ready for the holiday of this of 2019. Yeah, they'll have another home run season as far as that's concerned. But yeah, that would be nice. I'm fingers crossed. You know, although boys have been asking for a DS, and I told them just wait, just let's see if Nintendo says something about a more potent Switch, and then we'll go that route instead. But yeah, I hope there's something.
Oh yeah. I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? Because I haven't been. I've been extremely critical of Nintendo. You guys know, if you're fans here, if you're new here, once again, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate the support. You guys know I've been extremely critical of Nintendo the entire generation. I have not let up on them, but a Switch Pro would definitely excite me. I'm a big Zelda fan. My favorite game of all time, any system, even Halo, is Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Favorite game, bar none, not even close.
That game was awesome.
Not even close. That defined my childhood. That
All
game,
the way.
sitting in my cousin's living room for hours and hours and hours on end, trying to scrape up information on how to pass levels, going to the grocery store, the section, where the magazines are, looking at the Nintendo powers, trying to figure out what to do. Man, that was just some of the best times of my childhood. But I don't want to far too far back in nostalgia. You don't have me going down a long road. No, but either way, I'm excited. I mean, the Switch Pro would be amazing. I think that would garner a little bit more. I think that'd be more beneficial for third-party games because that's one thing where Nintendo's traditionally suffered with their consoles. They get to miss out on so much on the third-party end because a lot of those games can't run on those, on the actual tech because it's not powerful enough. You'll be missing on too many components of the game. They'd have to give you a stripped-down version. We've seen that before. Call of Duty on the Wii. All this nonsense. I could have played Call of Duty on my phone better than that Wii. Dead ass serious for real. But either way,
would you mind if I propose a question?
What? Go ahead.
What now? This is only a total question. I am not saying this is stone cold fact or anything, but what if there was a trade-off for power that there was less portability?
I didn't think about that. Fuzzy, you want to take that? Chat, you want to take that trade-off? What do you guys think, chat? Let us know. What do you guys think? What do you repeat that so the chat is aware of what's going on?
That's a tough one.
Well, trading off for power for less portability. If you think about it, if it's more powerful and it's producing more graphics, that's going to be more strain on the battery. So that means it probably won't last as long as a normal Switch unless they put a bigger battery in it, and that means if it could potentially make the console bigger. So would it be a shock if it came out and it was less portable of a device as a result of that?
I think if I can get at least, I'm not sure what the life range of the batteries are now, but if I can get at least an hour or two out of a Switch Pro, let's say the standard Switch, is it somewhere north of 3 to 5 hours or possibly 5 to 7 hours?
I'd have to look it up. Chat? Let us know. When it's undocked, what's the time? What's the battery time on a Switch? Let us know, chat. Whoever has a Switch, go ahead. Centurion, I don't know if you can answer that as well.
I really don't know off the top of my head. I thought it was somewhere 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah, I figure it's going to be a decent amount of time, but if it cut it down to 1 to 2 hours, and I have a little bit more or a higher pixel count, I would be fine with that. I don't know about most others, but I figure at that point it's just going to be for while I'm on lunch break or while I'm taking my car to get its oil change and I'm in the waiting room type of thing. So 1 to 2 hours of battery life, I'm fine, because especially if I can continue the games from what I played at home when it was docked. Yeah, I'll be fine with at least 2 hours. But that trade-off for me works. Although for many others, I don't know. I know my kids would probably be like, "Oh, heck no, that's not that's not going to work."
Less portability.
They'd probably go with the standard one or something like that. A high def one that's 1 to 2 hours, I'm fine. That works for me.
Okay, no, that's a great question. That's very, very interesting take on that too. I never even considered it from that perspective, Centurion. So that was actually a really great flip of that question. So we got a couple questions in the chat. Once again, chat, let us know. You know what? Every other day, I know y'all got questions. Every other week, I know y'all got questions. So we opening this thing up, man. This is powered by you for you guys. You guys are controlling the show today. So throw all your questions in the chat, man. Give us some good stuff that we can dive into and sink our teeth into. So we're going to keep this thing moving. So we're going to go ahead and go with Shonsu, man. I know he had a great question. Shout out to the mod of the year here every week on time early. Shonsu, appreciate you, boy. Love you, man. But let's go ahead and go with his question. He said, great question. Say Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Gears of War 5, and Cyberpunk 2077 drop on the same day. What do you play first? That's torture, Shonsu. I better have to kick you out of the damn chat for asking that question, Shonsu. You're gonna get demoted, man, asking questions like that. I'm trying to tell you. But anyway, just playing. But that's a great question. What do you guys, once again, chat, let us know. Answer that question. But we're gonna go ahead and roll with you, Fuzz. Let's go with you. Yeah, you ain't getting loose, boy. Come on
out. Man, that's a tough one. Because I definitely want to dive into Gears of War a bit more. Like, I know I suck at online, but the story mode is fine for me and want to do more co-op. But man, Cyberpunk has got its hooks in me, and I haven't even seen any more gameplay than from what they had last year. Star Wars, I can, as much as I'm a Star Wars fan, I can always come back to it.
Yeah,
I'll be anxious to play it, but it'll be one of those where once I start playing it, I'm gonna play it until I finish it. Cyberpunk is going to probably take so long.
It's such a tough question. Damn you, Shonsu. Right.
I think if I want to complete games, I think I would probably start with Star Wars first because I have a feeling it's going to be less time to complete the story. But knowing me, all three come out. I'm probably buying all three anyway, and then it'll be Cyberpunk will get started until I get either pissed off or stuck somewhere. And then I'll hop over to Gears, do some co-op on that, and then bow out before multiplayer because I still suck at the multiplayer for that. And then probably hop over to Star Wars. But yeah, I think Cyberpunk would get first dibs for at least the first day. And then I would probably see screenshots of Gears and be like, damn it, why didn't I just hop over to that and probably hop ship? So yeah, it's a tough
one. What's up, Salty? Salty is gaming in the house. Shout out to my guy. Shout out to everybody else following in. John Mark Luis, Mojo hanging out, King James. I got all my mods in here, man. Appreciate you guys showing support, man. Loving the channel. All my mods are in here, man. I'm loving this, man. Shout out to Distracted, AP, Cool J. Appreciate everybody else who I didn't see come in. Love you guys so much, man. Smack that like button on your way in, man. But file up, man. We doing this damn thing today, man. We hot. So that was a great one too, man. So I know Centurion, I didn't get to you yet. So what do you think? I mean, that's a tough question, man.
I thought about it. So I'm gonna look at it from this perspective. Star Wars reminds me of The Force Unleashed, and Gears of War at the end of the day is still Gears of War. I'm a sucker for a new experience, so I'm gonna have to go with Cyberpunk, just because the minute I saw that game, I'm a sci-fi freak and I really want to try that game out. But the only thing is, I can't go off of what they showed last year for gameplay footage because they already came out and said that the game is totally different than that now. But it is a tough question though. I would definitely have a hard time. Like, I would probably buy all three and be playing bits and pieces of them all in a row. But I'm pretty sure Cyberpunk would be the first one I would fire up, purely because I want to see if CD Projekt Red hit another one out of the park.
Okay. So you be brought in by more of the intrigue of the studio and then the pedigree behind CD Projekt Red, because coming off of Witcher, they hitting home runs. They hitting bombs.
Oh God, yeah.
So coming off of Witcher, actually now, Chad, I don't know if you guys are am I a little too long here, but I'm coming off of Witcher, I have them as really the only other studio that even approaches Rockstar. Now, Rockstar may get you know, they get a lot of flack for Red Dead Redemption 2, but GTA is damn near flawless. And I'd say GTA is probably the game of the fucking decade or something.
Probably for the next 20
Probably for the
years.
next 20 years.
When you're born in this world, you get a
Yeah.
social security card, a birth certificate, and a
Got
copy of Grand Theft Auto.
Exactly. Ridiculous, man. Dead ass serious. Dead ass serious. The game is that. It's its own. It's no other game even approaches GTA when it comes to it's its own thing, you know. So they were really the only studio that I thought could approach Rockstar in that regard. But man, for me, I just know it came down really to me. And it's gonna kind of be silly, but sentimentally, I'm so attached to Gears and the characters, and I want to see their stories and where they go. And I think I think this time, this Gears is going to be just different enough to get everybody's attention because I think we're going to see a new world, different locales. We may see a familiar antagonist, you know what I'm saying here, that people can connect with, Locust, hint, hint. You know, we may see some different things, you know, who knows? But I mean, a lot of things, the cover came out. I know a lot of people were indifferent on that, but buy humbug, whatever, it's a cover, relax. You don't have to eat it. You just got to play the game, you know? So it's not that big of a deal. But either way, I say Gears, man. I think Gears just, if they came out on the same day, Gears is something about, I got to know what's going on.
Yeah.
I gotta put it in first. You hand me both games first, I got to put Gears in first. I have to, you know? So I don't know if that's a reach. But either way, chat, let us know what's going on. We taking more questions once again, man. Let's go ahead and keep this thing rolling, man. We talked about Halo earlier. We got to that already. I'm gonna take another question here. Where are we at here? Let me see who's throwing. Okay. So AP Cool J, you put a question in the chat. You said, "What game are you going to play tonight in anticipation for tomorrow?" That's actually a really cool question. So, what you playing tonight, Centurion, in anticipation for the Xbox show tomorrow? What are you playing tonight?
I'm still trying to hammer through Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That
Jesus,
game right there is a second job.
You gotta take out some workman's comp for Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Oh yeah, definitely. And every time I try to start playing it, something happens where I gotta put it down. And yeah, that game is definitely a labor of love. But I just got done beating Rage 2.
Oh man,
nice.
And that game was a bunch of mindless fun. I had a blast. You know, you could go through the story in that game so quickly, but if you just take your time, clear out all the points on the map, build up your character to where you're running around in God mode, just smashing and blowing stuff up, and you worry about those story missions at the very end, it makes it a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 What about you, Fuzz?
Well, for the early part of the day, I went dark on Xbox and try to do some Division stuff to clear up all the collectibles because I know if I play in a group, people will wonder, why is he going like every corner and every alleyway? It's like I just wanted to get all the collectibles. It's something I hadn't had a chance to do, but I also been playing Halo 5 with the boys. They wanted to play Forge, and I figured, yeah, I plan on seeing something for Halo tomorrow, so why not? Played a little bit of that, and then one of my sons wanted to get into Forza with the drag racing and stuff like that. I don't know if we're going to see another motorsport, but I'm hoping we see something as far as the expansion. So figured, yeah, I'll play a little bit of Forza, but outside of that, probably after the show, I'll probably go back to either one of those two, and then possibly some more Division. But yeah, for the most part, Halo and Forza, because I expect to see something for them tomorrow.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. And shout out to everybody filing in right now. Say what's up in the chat. Smack that like button as you come in, man. See some new people in here, man. Every week now we get new people. I appreciate the support. My guy Salty in here hanging out, creeping in the chat. Appreciate you, Salty. If you guys don't know, man, Salty, one of the best, most consistent guys in the community. Please go follow him. Go follow him. Go subscribe to his channel. He puts out nothing but greatness, nothing but great content. Please go support that man. One of the most genuine people you'll ever meet in the community. I don't care what nobody say, okay? We keeping it real out here. But all I see is positiveness from this gentleman. So please go follow him. Go follow whatever he's doing, man. Appreciate you showing up today, man. So we're going to keep this thing moving, man. And I know I saw a couple other questions here. I think the chat's been going crazy, guys. So I've been trying to keep up. Let me see if I missed anything. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get to Luis Jimenez. Shout out to you, Luis. He had a question. Now this is more of on the techie side of things, guys. I'm gonna leave this to Centurion and Fuzzy. I'm gonna play wingman on this. I don't really get too far into this, but he said, "What specs do you think the Anaconda will have? T-flops, etc. And what, if any, surprises would you like to see?" Now I'll answer that portion, but I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and hit on the T-flops and what you guys may be expecting. So I'll start with you, Centurion. I know you just built a computer. I mean, seriously, like today. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure you're pretty, well versed on this. So what do you think about the specs? What do you think of Anaconda? Especially me and you pregame were talking about which one may be more powerful. Not that I really care, but go ahead and elaborate on that.
Well, I will say I didn't exactly build it. I had somebody in my ear telling me what to do, but what I'm looking for in specs, for starters, SSD hard drive. Definitely get those load times down to nothing. Time is important, and when you're stuck in loading screens, that's not fun. But the one thing that has come out is it was revealed what Google was running with. I think it was like 10.4 or something like that.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
And Xbox and PlayStation both come out and said that they were going to be more powerful than Google. So, if we go off of that theory, we're talking at least 11 T-flops.
Okay.
So
that sounds pretty comfortable. Sounds pretty cool. I'd bank on that. That doesn't sound like too much of a stretch, though, honestly. What did they talk about that? What did the PS5 talk about doing? 14 something? What is it?
Well, I think the dev kits that were out there were at least 14 or so, but sometimes they wind up having more than what the production piece will have. So we figure it's not going to be the full 14 or 15 or whatever the dev kits were, but they're definitely going to be somewhere north of 10. And I'm figuring the Anaconda is going to be the same way. The Lockhart, from what I remember hearing some people in the know speculate before, is that they'll have less T-flops than the X, but because of its new CPU, that won't really matter as much because the CPU will be able to carry the load where the GPU doesn't need to, have as much going for it. So I think it's something like our X's are somewhere around 6 or 6.2 or 6.4 or something like that. The Lockhart will probably be somewhere north of 4.5 or maybe even like 5. But the new CPU will be a little bit more potent. Fingers crossed, it would be nice to see the GPU on the Anaconda be double what the X is. That would be a nice marketing strategy.
Uh-huh.
But 12. Oof, I know it's a bit of a dream, but it would definitely be nice to see 12 teraflops or T-flops on the Anaconda. That's my fingers crossed hope. And SSD would be a nice add-on, but right now I'm doing an external. So unless I keep moving games back and forth, whatever one I'm playing primarily on the main, it's still I'm still gonna be stuck with the external drive setup.
Yeah.
But outside of that, 60 frames, what was it? Zen chip processor or something
both
like
using
that.
AMD, don't forget.
Yeah, so it'd be nice. I don't even think they know what clock speed they're going to be pushing these things to, but it is going to be the smaller chipset. Was it 7 nanometer or something like that? But yeah. As long as it can outperform the X as far as for frame rates, because I'm pretty happy with the visuals on the X as it is. Mm-hmm. If it can do the 60 frames on everything and the same visuals that we have currently, I'll be more than happy and pre-order one day one.
Got it. You know what? I think a lot of people would settle into that too. Now, we haven't even gotten the price, and I don't even think I want to go down that long, winding, dark road as when it comes to price, because that we get to the weeds of that, this show may never end. So I don't think I'm going to go that route, but very, very interesting question, and I definitely wanted to get to Shonsu. I see you, Shonsu. You think I don't see you? That big-ass question mark you left in the chat. I do see it. No, I'm just playing. I love Shonsu. Mod of the year out there, everybody. You better get you one. But Shonsu, what revived Xbox franchise? Damn it, the chat is going too fast. Hold on now. What revived Xbox franchise would be your ultimate drop the mic? Oh no, yep, would be your ultimate drop the mic game announcement. So this is a franchise that we may have seen in the past, many years ago, that they would bring up or revive. That would be kind of a drop the mic situation. So we're gonna start with you, Fuzzy. I kind of feel like I know where you're going, Fuzzy, but I'm interested to see what you say, man.
I'm gonna go with the fan favorite and the probably the more likely, just not even recent rumors, just rumors over the past 2 years. I'm gonna say Fable. Fable's probably going to be that drop the mic or mic drop setup where they close the show with something along those lines. Now, how Fable will look, will it be medieval? Will it be completely, a different look like some behind the scenes sketches we've seen? We'll find out tomorrow, I guess. But yeah, for the most part, I think Fable's that mic drop revived title.
But would it be a mic drop because we know so much? Fable's been so much in the forefront. I don't even know at this point. It would be because we finally see it come to fruition, like physically. Okay, this is real in front of us. But really, because it's been so much in the forefront, we've been talking about Fable for like 3 years now. I mean, because it was a one thing. It was a thing at one point. Fable Legends, I get it. I understand, guys. I know a lot of people weren't fans, but that it was still Fable at the end of the day. At one point, we had a Fable in the making, and it just went away. So I don't know how much of a drop the mic. It would be a drop the mic for a number of people, including myself. But generally, I don't know if he'd be as big as some of the other things I could think of. But that would actually be fantastic, Fuzzy. I do fully agree with you. Now, Fable in any way, shape, or form, whether it be Playground or Rare, I think it's in good hands either way, and they're both big enough to do it. So that's very interesting take on that as well. But Centurion, we moving on to you, G. You got to come with it, man. What Xbox game would be what revived game would be a drop the mic moment for you?
Well, Fuzzy already took Fable on me, but I did a video on some of the names that have been mentioned. I would honestly be interested to also see what they would do with Perfect Dark, because there's even rumor about it. And I did make the argument, if we look at what Perfect Dark brings to the table, it's a strong female lead role.
Oh, yeah. I was going to mention that.
It's a first-person shooter, or if they did it right, they could also probably make it a third-person shooter at the same time where you had that choice. But there's also great multiplayer capabilities of that game. I remember playing that game on N64 with friends all day long.
I am in the vocal minority. Now, you probably going to crucify me on this chat. I'm so sorry to tell you guys this. I thought Perfect Dark's multiplayer was better than GoldenEye.
I did too.
I enjoyed it more than GoldenEye. I know 007 is the OG. We all played it. That's probably a super, super small portion of you guys think that. I enjoyed Perfect Dark. Played the gameplay way more than I did GoldenEye. But go ahead and finish your thoughts, Centurion. I don't want to take over.
Dude, no, the multiplayer is a great starting point. Like, I remember back in the day being with friends and somebody would get a hold of that railgun. Dude, all the people start shooting through freaking the map and the walls and hide from nothing.
Yep.
But yeah, and it also had a good sci-fi story behind it. Like, you wouldn't expect an alien named Elvis wearing an American flag tank top. So it definitely had some comedy behind it too, which kind of really set it apart from GoldenEye.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, definitely. It's a Rare IP, so Microsoft owns Rare. Now, I'm not going to say Rare's building it, but it's technically an IP they own, and they can give it to another developer to do some work on it.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, it's just so much can happen. This is why E3 is so beautiful. This is why we need E3 every single. What other event gets us this way? Nothing else gets us this way outside of E3s and video game awards and things like that. E3 is its own thing, man. It's still alive in here, man. We don't feel this way at any other point throughout the year, unless it's like a game coming out. But either way, let's keep this thing moving. And on my end, For me, God, there's so much good stuff that they can do. I saw people talking about brute force. Brute force would be cool. I don't know how many people are actually wanting a brute force. I remember brute force, but do a majority of you guys remember brute force? That's a great question to ask yourself. How many people besides me and you do, or even were aware that it existed at one point? I bought the shit as soon as it came out. Brute force. So I'm aware of it. It would fit the Xbox platform, a co-op shooter, maybe third person. I think Brute Force was third person, if I'm correct. Fantastic game, but I don't know if it would fit. But Perfect Dark would be great because of female lead character, strong female lead character. You can build around her. The gameplay mechanics fit. You need us. You could do a stealth. You could do stealth with that. You can go a lot of ways with that. It would kind of fill that Splinter Cell void for me.
Yeah.
You can go stealth with that. The fun gameplay, maybe not as serious as Splinter Cell, because Perfect Dark was kind of crazy at some points. It was a little fantastical, if that's even a word. I don't even know. I think I just made it up. But either way, I think that works. Fable, Fuzzy. I bring this back to you. I don't know if that's a mic drop at this point though. Maybe not for me. I mean, I want it. And I think it's because I expect it.
Yeah.
Maybe because I expect it. It's not a mic drop, but I don't know, Fuzz. That's
for me, a real mic drop, although I know the chances are slim to none, would be Rise 2. For me,
yeah.
a Rise 2 that has like some of the god powers elaborated, like what you used to be able to do in the arena, have more of that added on through the story, have more modifications to the gear, have horse combat, possibly even think of like a different uh instead of it being Rome, think of the Mongol Empire, and like Genghis Khan or something along those lines. Just I know some people are already probably tired of like Roman times and things like that because of like well, even though Assassin's Creed is not Roman times with Odyssey, it's Greek times, but it's like the timeline is not too far off. But I think, and then you have what's the one that PlayStation is going to have that more people might not necessarily want the Mongol Empire, considering that Sony's going to have not, I keep on wanting to say Bushido Blade, but it's was it Sword of Tsunami or something like that. I can't think of it right now, but yeah, a Rise 2, hands down for me. I think that would be my mic drop, but I don't know how many people are on that camp of Rise 2.
Crytek is coming into the fold.
Yeah. We have their engine and their studio. Good day.
Yeah, that would be a great segue. That fits perfect. I'll take that. I'm cool. I'm done at that point. We're good. I can stop watching. Yeah, but I mean that to me would be amazing. It's so many possibilities, guys, and with the fact that we're talking about this realistically, just gets me freaking excited about everything that's going on, where we're at right now in gaming. I understand we have our own. We get into the console war bullshit, and we kind of have our own separate thing there. But at the end of the day, guys, this is what we do this for. This is why we sit around, talk about video games, because this is what we all enjoy, man. So let's keep this thing rolling, man. We got 10, 12, 15 minutes. We're just going to let this thing roll, man. As long as you guys keep asking questions, we're going to keep it going. So I think Shuntu, Fuzz, this is specifically for you. He said PGR, Project Gotham Racing, Fuzz. What would you think about that?
Well, they tried to bring back at least one of the tracks on Forza Horizon 4 to have something like that where it's more of like the street racing aspect. I think that would be a nice change for Forza if they did that in the next Horizon, but I don't want this Forza Street thing that's the mobile game. Just keep that moving. But yeah, like a Project Gotham Racing or something like that. Have Turn 10 and playground work on it, and just reimagine the original Project Gotham Racing and bring that back and bring back some of the things that people loved about that game into, I guess, the Horizon series or something along those lines, or make it its own, every other year or every third year, series or title or something like that.
Okay. Sounds good. That sounds fantastic, man. We're gonna keep this thing moving, man. Ooh, okay. So Z-Back Rider said he just threw a hot one out there for him. He said, "Give us your thoughts on Dark Matter." I haven't seen. I gotta look that up. You put me on the spot, Black. I'm looking bad here, man. I haven't seen anything about that. Is that a leak or anything, or am I tripping? What am I missing here, Fuzz?
Dark
Anybody
Matter.
aware of what that is? Centurion, you aware? Am I supposed to be aware of what that is or not?
I'm looking it up myself right now.
I don't want to look it up. Don't do that, Z. You can't do that. Look at him. He's laughing. You're ridiculous, Z. Back mods. Get him. I'm just playing. Don't get him out of here. No, but Z, man, you can't do that, man. You can't. Z, I don't know what that is. Oh, the show. Are you talking about the show? The TV show? Is there a show called? Isn't there a show called Dark Matter?
Looks like it's something on.
The only thing I pulled up right now is it looks like it was a game. It'd be a reboot from a game in 2013. Dark Matter is an indie Metroidvania survival horror video game.
Okay, so if you're talking about that, Z, don't do that to me, man. You did break the internet for about 30 seconds, but I didn't know what was going on. Okay, so I don't know about that game, Z. Admittedly, I don't know anything about it, so I wouldn't know if it would be a good remake or not. Shit. I mean, I don't know. Man. That's interesting. I have to do some more research, man. I have to get back to you on that one.
There aren't that many side scrollers out now, so if you had something like that, I mean, you had Dead Cells and things like that, but it's totally different, like background and stuff.
That ukulele game as well is kind of a side. It does both. It's side scroller and 3D.
Yeah.
The new. I mean, it's not going to be genre redefining, but it's a good entry into the genre. The game. I know the controls of the last game were a little wonky. I think that was his biggest downfall, but I think they've kind of worked on that this time around. Maybe it's a lot better game. So we'll see. That's more of a Mario-ish kind of thing going on there. But either way, let's go ahead and get to these questions, man. Anybody else, once again, throw your questions down in the chat right now, man. We're lit in here, man. I can't even keep up with what's going on. Let us know what you guys want to see. I do have a specific question. I just thought of this while we were talking about the last topic. It's for you, Centurion, as well as you guys in the chat. I want you guys let me know really, really about this. Playground games. Now, we just kind of segue. We were talking about Forza there for a second. We know we're not getting a Forza this year at all. We're aware of that, okay? In any way, shape, or form. We've heard rumors that they may be working on something else. What are the odds that we see that, whatever it is, from Playgrounds this E3? So any one of y'all can take this. Fuzzy, whatever you want to do. Centurion, what are the odds we see that game at E3? You think it's too early?
It could. I've heard rumblings over the past while now about a kart racer game coming out of Playground. Now, I've heard somebody say it'd be awesome if it was a kart racer game where it was kind of like something on the scale of taking the Hot Wheels DLC and creating some kind of like scaled down version of Forza. I've heard that could either be a DLC that they're wanting to come up with or an actual game or something along those lines. I've heard a couple people make mention of that. Other than that, the only thing I've heard about coming out of Playground is everybody keeps swearing up and down that they're creating Fable.
I mean, Fuzz, I know me and you may have a different take on this because we've seen a couple things. So I don't know if you want to enlighten anybody about that, about what we're going to. Oh yeah, I don't know, Fuzz, but if you want to throw that out there,
I think we're going to see whatever non-car related game that Playground is working on. I think we're going to see at this E3, whether it's what popular opinion says it is, or I'm starting to think the closer we get to it, I think what we saw like early renderings of will be their interpretation of possibly that revived IP. I just think it's going to have a different look than what the previous ones did, and I think it's going to be kind of. Well, I'm hoping it's well received, kind of like when they talked about how God of War was going away from its kind of like high, third person or side scroll setup for some of its earlier versions versus the more recent God of War type of thing. So I think they're going to give it a different look, and it may take some of the biggest fans of possibly Fable to take a second look at it and give it a chance type of thing. But I think the masses in general will probably like the polish that they add to it, or the unique take that they add to it. Or it might be that they're working on completely something different that surprises everybody, and then let's say it's not Fable, and we're going to have, I guess, a whole new IP, a whole new world to look at, and people will kind of forget about how they talked about what was that game? Recore, like having a Recore 2, and it's like, unless you're going to make Recore 2 almost like a Horizon Zero Dawn type of thing, don't even bother bringing it back. But no, it was a fun game, but it wasn't. It was the right game at the wrong time, I guess is about the best way to put it. Mm-hmm. It's like one of those games that they should have come out with, but they also should have had something that was open world, that was a little bit more, I guess, rendered or graphically detailed in the, a manner, something similar to like the Surge or something like that, I guess. But yeah, I think we're going to see something from Playground. My guts tell me it's not what everybody thinks it's going to be, or if it is what everybody thinks it's going to be, it's not going to look anything like what they probably expect.
Yeah, and admittedly, guys, once again, me and Fuzzy seen a couple things. Once again, we don't know. We're not claiming to have any better information than anybody else, but I don't know how readily available what we've seen has been to everybody else. So that's kind of
I'm trying to find it now.
Decision. Well, I mean, we'll send Fuzz. I don't know if you want to just send them to him. You still got yours, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but if you wanted to send them to him in the DM, whatever. But either way, guys, I'm excited about what they may show. Now, the funny thing about Playground Games is that as time gone by, there was a point to where, admittingly, we all knew that they were doing Fable. Let's keep it 100%, because at one point we were all in agreement. At least about 85% of us, they're doing Fable. There was a huge wave. Everybody for sure thought that that's what was going on. As time has gone by, though, there's been some compelling arguments to say otherwise, that they are not doing Fable, including some of the things we've seen. Maybe they're working on something that's their own, that's brand new, that's left field from Playground Games, or they've taken, like you guys have kind of mentioned, an older IP, revived it maybe in their eyes, and kind of brought it up to what their vision of the game would be. They're very versatile. They can do a lot. I think what the interesting thing about Playground is that they're extremely versatile. The way they can build a world, I think that they do a game that would like lean towards their strength, and world building is a strength that they have. Like, terrain, world building, things like that. And I think they got a lot of help too. If you guys don't know, a lot of these first party studios lend a hand with each other's games. And in a lot of ways, shapes, and forms, whether it be a writer, whether it be a graphics, whether it be an engine, whether it be fine tuning, of software, hardware, whatever the case may be, they a lot of times work with each other. So it's very interesting to see what Playground's going to do. I'd like to see anything from them. I mean, I just want to say, you know what the funny thing is? Another thing too, and I want to kind of bring this up to you and Centurion Fuzz. How certain are we? This is old adage of Xbox, that they don't allow their first party studios to be creative. How much creativity do you think we're going to see from these first parties? Because that's one thing that the other side of the pillow talks about, that they don't allow their first parties to be creative with their IPs. So how much of that are we getting? And this is for you, chat. How creative do we actually think Gears, Halo, Forza, whatever Playground does is going to be, and how much different is going to be from what we've already gotten? That's a question I haven't heard anybody ask. Anybody want to take that?
I think they allow them to be pretty creative. I see. There's, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but I know some people are thinking Ninja Theory is possible announcement is a forced idea, but I honestly think it's something that they probably wanted to create before they even knew or even considered an offer from Microsoft. I think it may not be in line with what they normally do, but sometimes
they did Kung Fu Chaos. Get the fuck out of here. If you're they do a variety of games. They don't just make Hellblade. Sorry. Yeah. I know that fits with the Sony mantra. First person, very cinematic. very drawn into the characters, they make other kinds of games. So we could dead that right now. Let's not sit up here and act like all they make is Hellblade. They're not from software. Sorry, they don't make one kind of game. So anyway, that's my rant. Go ahead, Fuzz.
No, but exactly. I think that's one of those things that tomorrow people are on probably, say that Microsoft forced their hand. I don't believe it for a minute. I think when it comes to,
I was mad about that one too. I didn't even see that. I literally opened up my Twitter and was like, "What the fuck is this?" and immediately closed it.
Wasn't there an article that came out that they explained that this was a project they were already cooking, but at the time they didn't have the technology or the manpower to actually pull it off?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I thought I heard that too. That's the crazy thing, Centurion. I thought I heard that as well prior to. They were already working. As a matter of fact, I saw some stuff, excuse my language here, some stuff on YouTube, an early demo. I don't know if it's the exact game because I did not watch the footage. I saw the title and immediately clicked off of Twitter. So I don't know if it's what we saw because there was a video floating around about some early footage. And I don't know if it matches up with that. So that's very interesting too, Centurion.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anybody else want to elaborate on that? Chat once again. What are we going to see from Playground, man? Very interesting. How much leeway is Xbox actually going to give these studios? Now, I want to end on this one, guys. Unless, chat, you guys have more questions, we're probably going to wrap it up on this one. We're going to end like we started the show, Halo. All right? We're going to end this bad boy with Halo because that's probably the game I'm single most excited for based on what we've been hearing. So we've heard $500 million budget. We're talking Avengers budget here for a video game.
Mm-hmm.
Avengers Endgame budget, okay?
Yeah.
As well as over, was it four? There's not 400 people working on it. That's Cyberpunk. But obviously we know there's a ton of people working on it. Brand new engine. We only get a small CGI trailer, but it hints a lot of different directions as far as what the game is going to be, what we're going to see. I'm looking for a huge game, massive scale, unlike any other Halo we've ever seen, unlike any game that's currently out at this particular point. I'm looking for innovative ideas from Halo. What is on you guys' Christmas wish list for Halo tomorrow? We're going to wrap the show up with that because I feel it's appropriate. So, Fuzz, go down your Christmas list. What are we seeing tomorrow from Halo?
Larger co-op, possibly 50 versus 50. What I've been dreaming of for a battle royale, 50 versus 50. Not part of the story, just either, like multiplayer or something like that. I want a 50 versus 50 type of deal. What else? I want to see more detail about the Master Chief, more of the lore, more about Katana.
Gotta have the lore. Gotta have the. That's one thing. And I'm gonna cut you off here. I'm gonna let you finish in a second. I sound like Kanye West. Ridiculous. Either way, no, for sure. But that's the lore. You guys didn't know Halo. Read the books. Read the novels. Halo has such a rich backstory. There's so much going on in that world, in that universe. Why do you think they're doing a TV show as well as potentially a movie at some fucking point? Because it's that much meat to Halo. It's as deep as the Game of Thrones lore. It's as deep as like something like that, to me, in my opinion, based on everything I've read, everything I've seen. There's a lot going on in that Halo world. So that's something I always thought that they needed to revisit more, is the lore, because that's what brings people in. That's what brought people into Halo 1. What's going on? Why am I in this fucking green suit? Why am I 8 foot tall throwing fucking, tennis balls that glow? Like, why? I don't know what's going on. I'm figuring out. I'm following this journey and this story. So finish your wish list, man. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Oh yeah, no worries. I want to see, without taking up too much time, I want to see that idea where it's kind of like a mix between Halo Wars and have that as like part of the side mission within the open world. I'll just put it this way: open world with more than fetch quests. Open world with side missions, not necessarily on the lines of Division, but something that will allow me to have replayability over and over, just doing the side missions, where I might lose 6 to 10 hours worth of playtime in just that alone. and then hop back to the main part of the story type of thing. That's basically what I want from Halo. I want something along those lines.
And blasphemy, what you just said, by the way, Z Black. What the hell is that? Okay, I love you, Z Black. That intro we saw, I don't think that was Chief. Who else? Nobody else better be wearing that armor. Better not be a single. I don't care if it's his brother, cousin, he had a sister, mama, uncle, dad. Nobody else better be carrying that helmet. I will lose my mind.
They're gonna get the fans going. It's gonna be Locke.
Oh. We're about to see. Oh my God, we're about to see Luke Cage and Master Chief's armor. This is ridiculous. No, you can't say that. Like that can't even be a thought in the universe. There can be nobody else to wear that armor, Z.
I think the internet would collapse. Like we had joked on Twitter a couple of days ago about like what was it? Half-Life 3? Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be Half-Life 3 internet collapse level. So
if they did that, that would be like when Hollywood Hulk Hogan joined the NWO and literally everybody was throwing trash into the ring. That's probably what would happen at E3.
That did not happen. Z, don't even put that in the atmosphere. We don't even want that to be on anybody's radar. You can't show that. And that helmet represents Halo. That is Halo. That can't be anybody else. So we can't even have that. We're gonna leave that. I wish there was a way for me. I could actually probably delete that comment, but I'm gonna leave it because I like you. Z, I appreciate that. Yeah. In all honesty, man, Centurion, and I know I'm gonna get to you, man. But were you done with your point, Fuzz? Did you
get I'm cool.
Okay.
I'm done.
Because I am ready to see the farm. I want to see everything. I told you guys what the trailer implied to me, maybe I'm reaching here, was openness. The fact that it panned out and showed this vast there's never been a Halo where we've seen any kind of wildlife ever. When have we seen wildlife in Halo? They showed buffaloes. They showed deers with like 26 antlers. We've never seen wildlife. Have we ever seen wildlife in Halo ever at any point?
No.
To me, that represents scale. To me, that represents life. Like world is alive. This is not a world that you're going to come to. It's just a facility like all the other Halo rings were. This is a live, functioning environment. There's shit here. There's stuff here. Like that's what that represents to me. And I expect nothing less on top of the fact that we've heard rumors about the size of the budget. They're not holding back. And the fact that we haven't heard shit about Halo, not a leak, not anything. They've kept this thing extremely tight-lipped. Now, once again, I don't know how much Halo we're going to see. I still think gameplay, we may not even see actual gameplay. If we get anything as far as actual gameplay, I think it's going to be icing on the cake. But I'm looking for maybe some CGI trailers, some more stuff about the story, maybe show Chief, who knows? But, man, I tell you, I'm so excited about this game. Centurion, you got to take it away, man, or I'll be talking all night.
All right, man. Well, if we think about it, a Halo ring is an infinite circle. So I do like your idea of open world, but think of it like as an infinite open world. If you were to hop on a Warthog and start driving, because it is a ring, you could theoretically go all the way around the ring and start over again and be in this perpetual loop in the open world. And I like the idea of it being kind of like the Division. Like you could be just mowing along and all of a sudden see a convoy and be like, yeah, I'm going to take that convoy out. Or you could also be just moving around, and you got to remember the Covenant broke off from the elites broke off from the Covenant. So you could see a group of elites all of a sudden starting a war with a group of the Covenant, and you could get involved in all this and all of a sudden have a three-way battle, just like in the Division. You could be walking along and all of a sudden one group starts fighting another group, and you can get in the middle of that and just create utter chaos. So I'm really hoping that it is open world because, yes, I mean, if it was like on that scale, I'd be lost in that world for days.
Okay. You know what? My expectations for Halo are through the roof. And I'm seeing some crazy shit in this chat. We got to stop this nonsense, guys. What the hell are you talking about Cortana? That's Cortana. What do you mean that's Cortana? what kind of nonsense is going on down here? But either way, man, I'm extremely excited about the game. It's going to be amazing. Whatever we see, what the one thing I'd like to see from Halo is taking Halo moves the needle. It's always moved the needle, and it has not done that. Admittedly, maybe the last 2, 4, and 5. I thought 4 was a fantastic game. I thought 4 was amazing for what it was. A lot of people kind of been like, "Oh, I don't really." 4 was great. The story, the graphics for the time were like other. I didn't even think you could get that kind of graphics out of a 360 at that point. So that game was amazing. But 5, once again, we need something that moves the needle, that changes the entire direction of what video games are going and what they're capable of doing. You know, we see it all the time. You know, we see it with God of War, you know, the storytelling aspect. We see it with other games, Nintendo, you know, Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Mario. They always innovate, and that's one thing that I love to see from them. But I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show on that, man. It was a great show, great topics, man. We had a ton of people in here watching us live. So appreciate you guys so much. This was our E3, pre-E3 shop podcast, man. We're going to go ahead and let everybody say their pleasantries, let you know where they can find them. We're going to start with you, Centurion. I want to say thank you for joining us live again another Saturday. He will be with us tomorrow during the live show. We are watching it once again, 12:30. Clock in. Come watch it with us here. We're going to be talking. We're going to keep the chat open. I'm going to be watching it live. We're going to all be watching it together. It's going to be fun. Appreciate you guys so much. For Centurion, once again, thank you. Let everybody know where they can find you and what you got going on with your channel.
Well, I want to start off with thanking you for having me here again. It's been a blast. I enjoy coming here and doing this show with you. You can find me on YouTube at Legion of Gamer or on Twitter at Centurion1307. But I also do write articles for legionofgamer.com. And just recently I started writing articles for BG4GHub.com. Great group of guys over there in the UK that are trying to start a new idea on bringing information to the people that's on a little bit less toxic, unbiased level. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Okay, awesome. Well, you got a lot going on, and you can find them all around the place because you've been on a few other podcasts as well lately. So he may be popping up on other people's podcasts throughout the week. The best way to figure out where he's going to be at, go subscribe to him, follow him on Twitter. I'll go ahead and edit the links in the description to make sure they all have your information, brother. Appreciate you on.
Hey, thank you very much, man.
Not a problem, man. Appreciate you coming on anytime. He's doing good things on the channel. Please, if you're following me, subscribe to me. Go flood his channel. We need another 50 100 subscribers ASAP. Please go over there and do that for this man. He's doing great things. And then we got my right hand man. But before I get to you, Fuzzy, I got to give a shout out to my boy Stagger. I don't know if you're catching this live. He's in LA right now at the event, man. He's hyped. Me and him been talking in the DMs, man. Shout out to you. Be safe. Have fun. Say hello to everybody, man. Everybody's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. Great show. But either way, shout out to Zarker as well. Right hand man. Shout out to you. Shout out to Jarhead as well. Appreciate you. The silent assassin is what we call him. We're going to go ahead to you, Mr. Unassuming. Let everybody know what's going on with you, where they can find you. Where you going to be at tomorrow, man?
Well, I'm going to be right here tomorrow watching E3 with you guys and, you know, trying to hold in the excitement so I don't sound like a little kid on Christmas Eve type of deal. But, oh, man, this was a great show. Thanks for being on here, Centurion. And, yeah, look forward to doing this tomorrow. You can find me on Twitter, although I've been off Twitter a good bit just so I don't spoil tomorrow and try not to spoil anything for people tomorrow either. But, yeah, this is awesome. And, man, tomorrow it's
ready. It's time. It's here.
Gotta start putting the no money away for the games for the next holiday. So, and for the next year. So
absolutely. Shout out to Xbot, man. You dropped in a little late, Xbot, but my guy always coming in supporting. Go support Xbot too, man. One of the fairest dudes in the community, amazing guy as well. Go follow him. Subscribe to his channel, man. You a little bit late this week, bro, but we ready. We live tomorrow. I know he got a live show tomorrow too as well. So shout out to everything you guys doing over there. But excuse me. Either way, host with the most Ptk Bl4m across the board, man. Last but not least, all of my information is down in the description below. Thank you guys for coming out and supporting. The show is getting bigger every single week. Appreciate the consistency. We're growing. That's what we plan on doing. Continuing 2019. Subscribe. We're definitely trying to hit 2K subscribers this year, man. It's an amazing thing seeing the channel grow day after day, week after week. That means we're doing something right. So be here, locked in tomorrow, 12:30. We're on live. Follow the show with us. We're watching live, man. Tweet it out. Let your friends know. Come join us. We're going to have so much fun tomorrow. Peace out. Couldn't have a better group of guys. We're out of here, man. See you guys later on this weekend, tomorrow specifically. So you guys have a good night.
Later.